Ночь, улица, фонарь, аптека. Бессмысленный и тусклый свет. Живи еще хоть четверть века. Все будет так. Исхода нет. Умрешь, начнешь опять сначала. И повторится все как встарь. Ночь и ледяная рябь канала. Аптека, улица, фонарь.
What if we've just forgotten? You've asked me, and now it made me think. What if we've just forgotten? Before coming here to this world, you knew your story. You knew what you needed to do, and your body knows everything for sure. I believe we can't explain our consciousness. We can't explain why we do this or that. The body leads us, and year after year you understand that there's logic in it, and it's some kind of a cycle. Because when I was a child, I can't remember my thoughts, I remember reflexes, memories, associations and feelings. I felt, and I remember smells. I remember new things that made great impression on me, that captivated me. I remember leaves falling down from the apple trees, and I was looking, and I saw my mum, and she's walking towards me, and her snow white hair, and I thought, my mum is the most beautiful woman in the world, and this feeling of just waiting for her and hugging her. The winters are really cold where I'm from, and she came back and she was so warm, but her cheeks were so cold, and they smelled like roses. And I really like winter, and I will always like it because it reminds me of where I came from. It makes me feel like home. And then you live. And I tried to locate this moment when I've started being conscious and thinking, and I think the first moment is just like talking to friends, having discussions and stuff like that, and feeling disconnected and detached, because I think detachment is a big part of being conscious. I remember a moment when she was talking about sex, and my other friend joined in, and they were talking about it, and they were putting makeup on, they were getting ready, and I understood that I'm not there, I'm not a part of it. It's not that I don't get it or I don't understand it, I just don't feel like this. I felt present, but also I felt absent at the same time. Do you know what I mean? At that moment, I started writing diaries because I couldn't understand what was wrong with me, what was happening. I just felt that I'm different. And the understanding of friendship, I don't know. I really like to love somebody, but I've always felt like I'm looking for somebody. I'm separated for somebody, and I'm looking for them. And my friends, although we are the same group of friends, they're kind of paired together. You know, they're like pairs of friends. And I remember we are in the elevator and she's telling me something, and I'm looking at her, and I realize that I feel that I'm complete, and I realize that we are now this pair of friends. We're paired now, and this feeling of unity, and it's so warm. The best thing is that I didn't want to run away anymore and think about the future. It's like sunset when you're looking at it and you're dissolved in it completely, and you're looking at the colors, and you're looking at her hair, and you know, you're just walking together, and winds play with her hair, and everything she tells you, you don't have to understand what she's telling you. You don't have to, you know, fully get it, but it's beautiful. I like it. When people are watching sunset, they're just watching it, they're just looking at it. But what I do is I start looking at people and the reflection of the sunset on their faces and in their eyes, and it's incredibly beautiful. And you see much more than they see, and you turn around and you look at the sky in the opposite direction, and it's also beautiful. You know, it's also magical. And it's the same with people, really. You look at her and then you realize that you're here, you're present, you're in love. And then you start noticing details, the things she's wearing and why she's wearing them and how she's doing that. And you feel present. You feel now. You feel together. And it's not like it's finally starting to make sense, because I don't understand what sense is. But the feeling of the fact that you're not looking for anything anymore, it kind of feels like in utero. You kind of feel like you're in utero. The next memory is me and her. We are on a bus, and I see her phone and those messages from that guy, and that's it. And I feel silence. I'm in a thick white fog again. You can't see anything, you can hear things, and she says, "You're hurting me with your silence." And I'm like, part of me is looking at her, not a physical part, it's just like a psychic part of me. Again, this is what I'm thinking about now, is you did this. When you decided not to tell me, at that moment, you destroyed everything. You cut this umbilical cord between us. We're not connected anymore. At that moment, you've hurt yourself. And what is happening to me at the moment is just like, you know, when the wave covers the coast and people are looking at it, not realizing that tsunami is coming and it's going to destroy everything and everyone, but at a different moment in time. Yeah. And I was walking. I didn't know where I was going or why I was doing that. And I came to him, and it smelled so nice in there. I came to him and I said, "You're right, friendship does not exist." And that's it. And it made sense. We met at the best moment. He had all the best answers to my question, and I didn't even have to think. That is the most beautiful thing. You were just present. You was just dissolved in it, and there was no feeling of, you know, that you have to be there. You were just there. It's like when you dive into the ocean and you feel the water touching your skin, gradually rising up, and you just dissolve in it. You are at one with it. I don't know when we started looking at things differently. I'm sure it happened long before we separated. I still ask myself why, because I don't know why. But I remember he called me and he was crying. And his tears, it reminded me of my father, and seeing him cry for the first time. He came in and he said, "Max is dead." And he took his t-shirt off and he wiped his tears. And he literally just fell to the floor. And it was the same. My rock, my knight. Something inside him is broken and I can't understand it. I can't even get the gist of it. I can't comprehend it. And he says, "I read this as soon as I left your place, and during the movie I was crying, not because of the movie, but because I felt that you were leaving me. And I was walking down the street and my friend told me, you need to do everything you can, anything that's possible to say everything, and to know that you've done everything right." And I think it was possible at that moment of time. But it's this umbilical cord was already torn and I couldn't stay. 2 years later, I was still crying and thinking about it. And then traveling, different countries, different people, different places. These people are from different countries, but we have the same childhood. That was the thing that I realized, and it kind of shocked me, to be honest. There were no boundaries, and the bizarre thing is that you lose yourself, you lose your background, your personality, your sense of self. But the weirdest thing, you're in it, you are it. I don't know. I got tired thinking about the things I do not have and I do not possess, and it's better to think about the things I already have. Be here, be present, and enjoy it. It's like you're walking and it's raining and you start opening your umbrella. And I never do that. I hate umbrellas. If I'm walking, and it's raining, I just want to get rained on. And if I don't want to get rained on, I just stay at home. And if it's already raining, I just get dissolved in it. And that's sort of, I give myself to it, and it's just, that's the beauty of being me, I suppose. I love the sun. I love sun. And I love the heat. But I protect myself because I don't want to be burnt. I've always been looking for somebody, but it's always been me I've been looking for. And the truth is, I've always been looking for something inside me rather than a different person. We can't change the nature. Nature has its laws. Why do we try to change each other all the time? Why do we try to make ourselves fit the view of life, the view of the world? We have been here surrounded by nature for thousands of years, and it's something that never changes, and all the laws are already there. If you want to be with somebody, just be with them. Don't change anything. And if it hurts you, tell them. Say something. Protect yourself. Like sunscreen, like an umbrella, like a house. I want to be dissolved in that. I want to be that. And that's why I feel free. Finally.